Good evening, my name is Minzy and this is a Chelsea tie. We have won 3-0 in the first leg of our Conference League adventures against Legia Warsaw away, putting us firmly in the position to qualify for the semi-finals of the UEFA Conference League. We are the only team in London to have beaten a traditional European team in white 3-0. Get in there. I am not going to include what happened on Tuesday night. Those lot can stay humble, eh? They can stay humble. But hey ho, thanks to those Gooners, they've actually now made it possible for the top 5 in the Premier League now to qualify for next season's UEFA Champions League based upon now the fact that England have the best coefficient and are now ranked 1 for this season. So fair play to them. I suppose the top 3 are pretty much almost guaranteed now. Liverpool are definitely there. Arsenal will probably say that they've guaranteed second spot, and third spot, I think Nottingham Forest have pretty much got it, so well done to them. So there's a great tussle between Chelsea, Newcastle United, Manchester City, Aston Villa. I don't know if Fulham, Bournemouth are there or thereabouts, but it's going to be an interesting tussle for those few places, that is for sure. So let's slug it out for the remainder of the season. I think it will be a little bit more tougher for Chelsea, if I'm being honest, because we've got Manchester United at home, Newcastle United away, Nottingham Forest away. So I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good for the Premier League, at least to try guarantee those top 5. But let's see what we can do. What can we implement for the remainder of the games? For now, let's talk about this game over here. I don't know who we're playing anymore. Like I said, we could be playing anyone from bloody Southall FC to Beijing FC. I don't know who we're playing. I know this game we play Legia Warsaw. I don't even know who we could potentially. I don't want to dismiss Legia Warsaw just yet. I better stay humble as well. Let's not discount Legia Warsaw. They could pull off an upset in the second leg. But if we come over and, do our business for next week, then it should be a relatively easy game and we should be in the semi-finals. And like I said, I don't know who we're playing because on the other side of the draw is where all the action will be happening. It'll be Fiorentina versus Real Betis. And it's the same because that could be classified as a final, really. So one of those two has to knock each other out and potentially play Chelsea in the final. But that's another story. For this story, at least, Legia Warsaw, it was all about them, really. In the quarterfinals, they get to play, according to them, a really big team in Chelsea. This is their European history. This is their moment, and the fans were very vociferous. Really building up that atmosphere. They put bloody fireworks and mist everywhere in the first 10 minutes. I couldn't even see what was happening in that game, I suppose. At least that meant that no dodgy VAR decisions can be made, so thanks on that. So well done to the fans for that. And in the first 10 minutes, they more than held their own from a corner. They should have probably scored. They had a free header. I don't know why he could only manage to guide his header into our centre half. Thank God he was standing there. And then from the rebound, I don't know who it was that put it over the bar. Yeah, it was a bit of a dodgy first 10 minutes. I think Legia Warsaw had it, and it really ramped up the fan spirit. And before this game, I think Legia Warsaw beat Aston Villa 3-2, didn't they? I'm sure they did. So this was a game that actually I was a little bit concerned about because you never know what could happen in these tricky away ties. And the first half was a bit dull after the first 10 minutes. After that, I think Legia also then. I don't know what happened with them because I'm sure they do have some good attacking players. They do some good business down the wings and they do spring a good counter attack on. But I think after their promising first 10 minutes, they just kind of went into a shell of themselves. It was almost as if they went 1-0 up and went, right, let's park the bus and make it difficult for them. But it was still 0-0. I don't know what they were doing. They just invited the pressure on, but the problem was that Chelsea weren't doing enough pressuring themselves. They were just like half-hearted pressing, half-hearted like first time passes, trying to like speed it up slightly, but even Chelsea were a bit cagey as well. So I suppose there was a bit of mutual respect between the two of them in that first half, and it finished 0-0. Second half, and that's where Chelsea kind of killed off the tie, really. They were more and they were more meaningful with their press, and they were much more direct, and they were much more cutthroat. I particularly like Madueke. His little jinking little runs down the right were causing havoc, and his cross went all the way to the back stick to Jadon Sancho, the forgotten man, who knocks it down. Cross goes in, they clear it. James, he takes a nice little long-range shot, which the keeper can only parry into the danger area. He didn't push it wide enough. And who was on there to score the rebound but our very own Tyreek George, who scored his first goal for Chelsea. I could not be any more happier for that lad. You look at his face and the little beaming smile he had. It was like a little kid opening his Christmas present. It was just beautiful. Honestly, it was just something. It's like, those kind of like proud dad moments where you see your son score for their team and you're like, that's it, son, that's it, son. That's what it felt like. That's what it genuinely felt like. Obviously, he's not my son, but... but I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. It was his first goal. You can see how much it meant to him. Put us 1-0 up, and then, boom, it just went downhill for Legia Warsaw after that. Second goal, good interplay between Jadon Sancho, who found Noni Madueke almost unmarked in the 6-yard box, which was absolutely atrocious defending, and he slots it home into the back of the net to make it 2-0 almost a couple of minutes later. And then, can only described as a disaster. First, I think Nkunku gets taken out from outside the box. Well, I think the referee actually gave that as a penalty. But then, obviously, VAR would have overturned it. But then the penalty was still given because the ref played on. The Legia Warsaw defender just absolutely clarted Kieran Dewsbury Hall. He absolutely sent him to the dustbin. Awful challenge. I could have been a red. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that didn't go to VAR, but anywho, it was a reckless challenge. Penalty was given, I think, for the foul on Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Up stepped Nkunku, and he dispatches it away. No, he doesn't. His penalty gets saved. It was a good goal. It was a good save from the goalkeeper, I must admit. Low down to his right, he parries it away. That really revved up the fans, and I was kind of a little bit worried because, any sort of game-changing moment like that, it could shift the momentum. Could they go on attack and then, grab a goal back and then make life difficult for us? As such, about 20 seconds later, poor goalkeeper, I must say, ball gets recycled down to the left for Jadon Sancho. Runs at his defender, puts the ball across, and Noni Madueke makes it 3-0, and any hint of a comeback was eviscerated there. And then 3-0 game over. Well, is the tie over? That's the second question. Possibly. They did have a chance at the end, but our goalkeeper, I was going to say Georgie Petrovic. No, bloody hell. It wasn't even Sanchez, it was the other fella. I was going to say Damsgaard. No, it wasn't Damsgaard. Oh, that's shocking. That is shocking. Anyway, the the Danish goalkeeper made a save around the post. I'm sure it's going to come to me, but at the moment I've been on nights, so my mind is all over the place at the moment. It hasn't really orientated to normal daytime thinking. Anywho, yeah, it was a good 3-0 win. I think Madueke, coming back from injury, got his 2 goals. He played well. Give a good shout out to Jadon Sancho as well. He was this time useful. He actually took his defenders on. He got himself 2 assists, so fair play to him. It will do his confidence a world of good. Like I said, I'm very happy for Tyreek George with his first goal. I think Kieran Dewsbury Hall was a bit unlucky, you know. He had a shot in the first, although got tipped around the post. Just didn't have enough bend. He didn't start outside of the post enough. It was more slightly comfortable for the goalkeeper, but I don't want to take anything away. It was a good save from the keeper. He had a header that went wide in the first half. He should have scored in the second half with a free header as well. I don't know how he managed to muck that one up. And then, sadly, he had a volley. He viciously hit it. Just went slightly over the bar. So unlucky for him, but he at least had a good run out as well, as did a couple of our youngsters as well, like Acheampong. So well done on those guys for getting their first couple of starts as well. And it's all looking good from a Chelsea youth team perspective. I mean, yeah. I mean, the Chelsea youth did beat the Chelsea senior team 3-0. So I think we need to play our youngsters more. How has that happened? How has our under 18 team beating our bloody full anxiety? That's just play the under 18, Maresca. Just play the under 18 and we'll win the Premier League. Don't worry, we'll win the Premier League. Okay, enough of fan fiction aside. That is it. I'm just gonna leave the stream there. We are going to be playing Ipswich Town on Sunday, so I'll have to nip down to the local illegal streaming sites because that's not being streamed live. I'm only joking. But yeah, it's Chelsea versus Ipswich Town. We'll see what happens there. And then we, of course, got the second leg coming up against Legia Warsaw at home. And we'll see what happens there as well. So that will end the stream there. I did get some delightful messages from my friend Kunal, who was all the way over there in Legia Warsaw, having some good time with the old alcoholic beverage and with the ladies in the club. You naughty man. You naughty man. With all those voice notes and pictures you're sending me. Living your best bachelor life, you dirty boy. Nah, man, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Good man, top bloke. Glad you had a good time in Warsaw. Hopefully I will see you soon, if not for a Chelsea game this season, then at least for the Club World Cup in America. Yeah, I'm just going to end the stream there. Thank you, good night, sayonara. I will see you for Sunday, alright? Do subscribe to the channel. Peace.